if you really want to make a really good YouTube channel, there are a few kind of niches that you can go into. But for me, the most lucrative that I would say that will keep you around for a long time are the interracial couples. Now, there are a few with black men and non-black women, but that doesn't really sell as much. However, if you're a black woman with a non-black man, you will do very well. We've also seen this with the Mighty McClures, the McClure twins, and things like that. But the more ghetto version of this, in my honest opinion, has to be the Queen of Kings YouTube channel. This channel features two unique personalities. One lady who was Rose Miller, a black woman who had black kids by a black man and then left him. And despite her having multiple kids by a black man and being a single mom, she ended up with this guy by the name of Brett. And Brett was a white guy who solved all of her problems. According to her, Brett bought her a car, bought her a house, and did everything that black men would never do.
He's right, you know.
And after marrying a white man, Rose Miller would go on to tell everybody this about dating black American men.
How many black men have you dated in your community? Yeah, besides your ex-husband, baby daddy, how many black men have you dated?
Maybe 2 or 3 besides him.
And so you're done with black men?
Naturally, like if I was not to be with my husband, I would not desire to waste my time trying to find the right black man. Now, if I just somehow just fell in love, then I would be open to that. I'm not telling people to open horizons while I'm closing mine, but they wouldn't be like my first option.
But then problems started happening in their relationship. She would expose Brett for being broke. He couldn't pay for anything. He actually ended up going to jail because she called the cops on him. I mean, she was just disrespecting him as much as she could. And there was a part where Brett Miller accused her of,
if you come here with food again, if you steal again, I'm going to leave you. Do you remember that? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Yeah, I have a sugar daddy that paid me $25,000. Let's send everything to the hate pages. Let's do it.
Yeah, he even calls her a hooker.
Damn.
It even got so bad that Brett asked her to stop. Like literally, he didn't want to be on YouTube anymore. They were making a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. They have 1.23 million views on YouTube. So that's a lot of subscribers. They're also on TikTok. They also sell things. So they're doing pretty good. And I remember when they moved to Arizona, to Hawaii, they were still making a lot of income. And again, people started criticizing them for having this sort of failed relationship.
My husband was very uncomfortable with the idea to begin with. He's a lot more reserved than I am. I am a lot more out there. So I have definitely overshared our lives, and he's not comfortable with that, and he's no longer comfortable with it. And he's done it for so long to make me happy, and I appreciate him for that. But he's no longer comfortable with certain things like, people questioning his every decision or just making lies about our family that does not exist.
Woo! Now let's get back to this whole thing of Brett saying that he was really tired of being online. And to be honest, I believe him. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that really wants to do this. I do feel like he loves her and he loves the kids. And he also has his own children with her. And he's always disrespected. And to be honest, he's almost fetishized, like a big white guy with a small black woman. I mean, it's like very sexual. He doesn't talk down on black men. I mean, she's the only one that does it, but he tries his best to like be respectful of her, although it seems like he's having a tough time. And again, this is important to know because she was saying that Brett doesn't want to really be on YouTube. He doesn't really want to be out here like that. He wants to live a private life. But then we found out something else. Brett and Rose is on OnlyFans.
Now, what in the pasta and lobster is going on here? You telling me that y'all left black men alone because you didn't want to go 50-50 just to get with Chad and have to be the one to put the down payment on the house by yourself, and then buy your own car and pretend like he gave it to you as a push present. The girls who have become influencers come into a lot of money. And, you know, trying to find a man who make just as much money as she make a lot of times is challenging. So when they do get into these relationships, a lot of times they are the breadwinner and they fund a lot of the stuff dealing with the lifestyle.
Damn!
I want to give a shout out to AC Reacts because I never heard about this until he said something. So give him a shout out. He did a really good video on the subject. And I had to go and do some more of my research if it was true. Now, of course, I did go and click on their page, on their links. Now, I actually didn't go and pay for the stuff. But I did go onto their Facebook page where they're really out here promoting this a lot. And I was seeing like her OnlyFans thing. She's basically bragging about it. And here we have it right now. April 1st says, finished the first quarter of the year with $58,000 from one platform without management. You guys literally watched the journey in real time from $7,000 to $45,000 in 1 month. That didn't happen by luck. It was strategy, consistency, and knowing how to convert. I've been seeing all of your messages, but there's too many to reply individually, so I'm thinking of doing something special. How I scaled my OnlyFans step by step, the exact strategy that took me from 7K to 45K, how to increase conversions and maximize your income, plus special shout outs on my personal OnlyFans. If you're serious about leveling up, this is for you. To join, subscribe to my Patreon to get access plus details. Let's elevate your income and your mindset. I'll see you there. Now, again, this is, in my honest opinion, like a scam. And I'll really tell you why. The hardest part about going on to OnlyFans is because people just don't know you. So if you're Rose Miller and you have millions of followers, when you go onto OnlyFans, you're going to be okay. It's just like me joining up to another platform. Let's say I decide to go to TikTok. If I go to TikTok, I've been in the game for a decade. A lot of people are going to go to TikTok and subscribe because O'Shea Duke Jackson is on TikTok. All right. So me being on TikTok is going to not be that difficult. I mean, I might not get 1 million followers like in the first, 2 or 3 years, but I'm going to have a bigger audience because people know me as O'Shea Duke Jackson on YouTube. Even if I go to Facebook, it's not going to be difficult for me. So how can I teach you about how to do stuff on TikTok when, to be honest, I've been growing my personal brand for a long time. This is the same thing with Tariq Nasheed. When Tariq Nasheed went to TikTok, his followers immediately came over to TikTok. And that's the same thing if you're Rose Miller and you have a husband and people want to see you clap. Yes, some people are going to pay to see you clap. Even the haters are going to pay to see you clap because you already have a inbuilt audience. That just makes sense. Okay, so of course they're going to go over there and watch you. So how can you teach that? Well, then you got to be able to teach how to build that fan base from the beginning, which you can't do it in 1 hour because that's scamming. But here's the bigger part.
If a man loves a woman or he cares about her, right? He would never suggest anything like that. He would never in a million years, he'll suggest, hey, even if she come up with the idea, he's going to look at her like she's crazy. Like, what are you talking about? You want your image out there like that? We're not degenerates. We're not degenerates. Why would we want to do that? You have kids. Why would you want to do that? You got kids that go to school. I thought you cared about the kids. I thought you cared about the children. And if Brad cared about the children, this guy that she's with, if he cared about the children himself, he'd be like, no. What if those children get a hold of this content?
Now, this clip, I largely agree with. You're telling the whole world that black men ain't this. Black men ain't that. Black men are weak. You're mentioning how you would never date a black man again. But now when you look at it, you're on OnlyFans doing this clapping content because your white man don't have enough money to support you. And that's what we all know. Like, no woman that has a man that's rich is going to put themselves out there on OnlyFans. Like, you don't even care. You'll do anything for money. So if you will do that for money, when, you know, he was talking about the fact that you had this sugar daddy that was giving you $25,000, you're only doing that because he doesn't have the money and he's broke. So you're basically prostituting him out for the whole world to see. So you guys are clapping on OnlyFans. You have kids. Your kids, you know, their families may see it. They may not want to be dealing with you anymore. It is just ridiculous. It's ridiculously crazy to even think about the fact that you're going to even participate in that. I just don't get it. I'm going to be honest. In interracial dating family, it all goes to you. And I hate to keep saying this, but I'm going to keep saying this. Brothers and sisters, here's what you need to do. You need to figure out this and this alone, okay? If you're going to date somebody out of another community, you just can't talk about what you hate seeing. That is very easy. It is very easy for me as a black man to go and say, you know what, I dislike what I see in black women, but let me go to someplace else. Let me go to Uganda. Let me go to Dominican Republic. Let me go to Colombia, and all of my problems will be gone. The reality is all of my problems are still going to be there because I'm only looking at it from one point of view. If you're Rose Miller, you're a person, and I'm going to say this about her, many people largely feel that she is a low-class woman, okay? No matter what you think or she thinks about herself. Because if you end up with a dude that would allow you to do this, yes, that's not what a high-quality man will allow himself to do. And the way that she behaves, it's not for what a man that has means wants to deal with. If you would be accepting $25,000 from a sugar daddy, you would be sleeping with another man that has money. And if that man doesn't have money, you don't respect him, you would already go out there and let somebody else clap. Now you have this man out here, this white man, and again, a lot of black women out here who talk down on black men and get with white men. It's not surprising to see that these black women will pay. I mean, let's look at Rachel Lindsay, okay? Rachel Lindsay was on The Bachelor. Again, I never really heard her talking down on black men. I would say that Rachel Lindsay grew up as like an honorary, like black white girl, right? She went to University of Texas, Austin, which is hard to get into. She's an attorney. She went to Marquette University in Milwaukee. And she just seems to be one of those kind of sisters, you know, that date white men. And she did. She married Brian Abasolo. And what do you know? She was paying for a lot of stuff because he just didn't have the money. And that's the tax of a lot of black women. A lot of black women who are talking this stuff about black men, even though Rachel Lindsay just didn't say it, she just went and did it with her actions. They are paying the price by dating these white men, marrying these white men, and then they become frustrated when they are the breadwinners. And the reason why is because of your attitude. It's your disposition. In order for you to get any man of value and to keep him, you're going to have to be somebody that appeals to the world. And you just can't have the attitude, I don't like black women or I don't like black men, and think that somebody that has value want to deal with you. Any white man that is a top tier white man has plenty of opportunities in his own community. That's number one, okay? Even Rose Miller's husband, who is probably not the most high tier white guy out there, if she loses him, he will get somebody the next day. That's a fact. And this is the same situation with many just middle-class white guys. Many middle-class white guys have plenty of opportunity. So the high value white men have more opportunity than that. I don't know why these sisters feel like these white men don't have opportunities, but you're going to have to be competitive. Otherwise, you're going to end up like Rose Miller, talking down on black men, getting with any white guy, having kids with the white guy, and then you end up on OnlyFans because the white man is not a provider.
Damn.
Oh, by the way, I forgot. She also said that this same guy was a deadbeat dad and didn't take care of his own white kids.
Damn.
So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jacks back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all you do. Turn the bell. We're out.